Hey everybody, today I'm going to be talking about the Academy Awards, which occurred last night, and this is the Oscars for 2015. I don't know if it was the 87th, 88th Oscars, I never do. So, the 2015 Oscars. People are always asking me, oh, are you mad that this didn't get nominated? Oh, are you going to be pissed if this doesn't win? And my answer is no, I don't care. It's an award show. It really doesn't mean much in the big scheme of things other than it's capturing a certain moment and what people thought at a certain time, almost like a Hollywood yearbook. I don't think people are going to remember in yearbooks 20 years from now who was best couple and who had the best hair. It's just not really that relevant to me anyway. I don't think we should be judging art. It's all subjective. And plus the Oscars isn't really necessarily about recognizing art in the way that I think it should be. It's much more just a very glitzy, uptight, politically charged often showcase of celebrities. And the older I get, the more I am less interested in that kind of romanticized idea of what the movie industry is, what Hollywood is. So no, I don't really take the show very seriously at all. But that being said, there are moments at the Oscars that do move me, do genuinely move me. And it always comes from something that is very in the moment, something that's not expected. And that comes from a lot of the speeches. Even if you don't necessarily believe in, awards necessarily, it's great to see people who've worked really hard and have sacrificed a lot. And, some of them, when they win, it's a big moment, and it's great to see them be so elated. That's what I always remember, and there's no exception with this show. That's what I took away. As far as just the tone of the show, I feel like I'm a broken record and I say this every year, but it was very ho-hum, and it was, I don't know, I found it very subdued, and I was bored for most of the time, and nothing really wowed me. And typically I wouldn't be surprised. Like last year when Ellen DeGeneres hosted, I was like, yeah, I wasn't expecting anything else. It was very casual. But this one, I guess, because if you watched my recap of the Oscars last year, I talked about how much I wanted Neil Patrick Harris to host. Because I feel like I always just felt like he was an ideal candidate to host. Obviously, he's hosted the Tonys many times and the Emmys. But he really disappointed me. He is that triple threat who can do anything, and he's got that very showbiz, old-fashioned variety show type of way that he presents himself, which is ideal for the Oscars. But I honestly think, and I don't know the backstory, but to me, I feel like the idea of the Oscars maybe scared him a little bit, and the writers, and they thought, okay, Neil, you need to this is a tough room, and you can't try to be edgy, you have to be very accessible to everybody. And I feel like his personality as a performer did not shine through much at all. And I know I say this a lot, but watch any of the times he hosted the Tony Awards, watch any of those, but particularly watch the 2013 opening number, YouTube it right now, and just watch that. It is the greatest thing. It is the greatest opening number I think I've ever seen in any award show ever. It had spectacle, it was hilarious, very witty, and Neil had such energy, and he was fearless in a lot of the things that he did. He really pushed the envelope and really he went for it. And at the end of it, you could just tell, everybody, their heart and soul went into that number, and I love seeing that. This one just felt very stiff and very awkward a lot of the time. He came off as like a poor person's Billy Crystal. He did make a couple pretty good jabs at the Academy, dealing with Selma and the fact that it wasn't recognized when it should have been, possibly. So that was great, but I wanted more of that. I want more edge to my hosts, I guess. And then the musical performances, there weren't really any that stuck out to me that much. That being said, I didn't watch all of them. I skipped the Tim McGraw performance, and then I missed part of the Jennifer Hudson one. But from what I saw, I did think that the Glory one was moving, and I think a lot of people were moved by it. Just because I think in the immediate moment, because the show did have those political overtones throughout, I think it was just naturally building to that moment. So when you have John Legend there singing his heart out and you have a chorus, it's naturally going to evoke a lot of emotions in people. And it did in me. I enjoyed it. I'm not crazy about the song itself. I had never heard it until last night. But as a piece, it wasn't something that really stuck with me, but just in the moment, it was a good moment. But my favorite was, and I'm surprised by saying this, but it was the Sound of Music medley by Lady Gaga. And okay, I admit I am Lady Gaga is my guilty pleasure. I love her, and I just love how shameless she is. And yeah, it's just one of those things that sometimes I'm like, I really shouldn't be enjoying this as much as I am, but I am, and I can't help it. I expected, when you're thinking Sound of Music, you think, oh, well, they'll probably get somebody like Kristen Chenoweth or Idina Menzel, but they went with Lady Gaga. And me, I know, just because I've watched her for so many years, I know that she's a very talented musician and a great singer, but I think a lot of people were shocked that she was able to deliver so well, and I thought she did a fantastic job. Even though I always think they always do these weird tributes at the Oscars, and it seems just very out of place a lot of the time, and this one is no exception. I will admit that it did make me want to watch Sound of Music, and if that's what they're going for, then they got the job done. But again, I really liked the speeches a lot for the most part. I guess I'll start with J.K. Simmons, because I thought he gave a wonderful speech to kind of open the evening. He didn't try to rattle off a bunch of names of people to thank, and he didn't talk about himself endlessly like a lot of people do when they win awards. He was just very much, he was very genuine, saying, I love my family, and you need to go talk to your loved ones. If you have a family, talk to them, tell them how much you love them, and that was a really good thing. I really liked Alejandro Iñárritu's couple speeches that he gave, just because I guess I wasn't expecting him to be that zippy. He was very, very funny, very droll, and I guess I didn't really expect that just because I know the films that he's made in the past, which are not exactly peaches and cream. Seeing Eddie Redmayne get so excited for winning the Oscar was nice. I like seeing people get really excited for something that they really want. And he just has this very youthful vigor in him that is just infectious. Patricia Arquette's speech was obviously very political, and I appreciate that. I find it noble that she's going for things like that, but what was so funny was the reaction from Meryl Streep and J-Lo. Those two looked like they were in the middle of a gospel church, and they were just like, praise Jesus. But my favorite speech of the night went to Graham Moore, and he won for his screenplay, The Imitation Game, and I loved his line about staying weird. That's just something that sticks with me, just because it's something that I believe in personally, in my own morals, I suppose. It just came from the heart. He talked about how he tried to kill himself, and that look at him now, look where he is, and that everybody means something, and you should celebrate being weird and being yourself, and don't be afraid to express yourself. Now, of course, it's very ironic that he's saying that at the most lofty award show there is, that is not known for being edgy in the slightest, but I think that if you can say something like that and maybe touch somebody in the world who might be watching, that's a really great thing. People can relate to what he was saying. So yeah, I can't really think of anything else from the show that really stood out to me, but those were the moments I liked, and some of the moments I didn't, I suppose. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm not more enthusiastic, but the Oscars just don't excite me that much anymore as like they used to. But anyway, what did you guys think about the show? Let me know. Don't be afraid to comment, and if you would like to follow me on Twitter, the link is below, and you can also like my Facebook page as well in the link below that. And catch you next time.